Mr. Portnoy, how are we? So you could hear us, huh?
What's up, John?
I'm in.
You're in.
I
We're trying to get Mr. Portnoy in.
I do know the irony of that, Mr. Portnoy. I apologize that you don't understand how to work Zoom, and this is the I don't understand draft. So remember, you want to say yes to everything. Yes to video. Yes to audio. Just everything you could say yes to. Say yes.
I don't see anything here.
I hear you.
Say yes.
Do you want to try to rejoin? You want to quit and rejoin? Sometimes that helps you out.
You can't hear me?
No, we can't hear you. You're muted and your camera's not on.
I can hear.
Yeah, so John's good.
All right. How was it?
Nah, you're still in the abyss at the moment. Do you want to just totally exit out and try again? What did you say, sorry?
Oh, I'm hearing him through the phone. I see.
Oh, yeah. Hello? Oh, no, we lost the phone call, too.
This might be a long setup here. Do you have
John Feidelberg.
Oh, all right, we got
all right.
audio.
Mr. Portnoy.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Did I get picked for this because you figure I'm more confused than probably anybody you know?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
That's why you did this, Eddie. You wanted to shame me.
This is the third topic I picked for you. The first one was grievances. The second one was things that have gone downhill. And the third one is things I don't understand. They are not intentional at all. It's just how it rolled out.
There we go.
Oh, my God.
We got you.
There we go.
All right, I'm done.
Don't listen,
I've got nothing else.
Mr. Portnoy. Don't let him patronize you, because he definitely always has ulterior motives.
I know that.
But we do.
I understand that.
We do genuinely look forward to doing this episode every summer.
Yeah, every summer.
Yeah, we do.
It's
I
a
feel
long
like.
time in between.
Well, we'd have you on more than that, but we don't want to bother you.
Yeah.
No, you're not bothering me. Sometimes you're bothering me.
All right.
I want to tell you something. I have so many things listed here. How many hours is it? What gets very similar to this, it merges into me having complaints. They're very similar things that that I don't understand merges into complaints. I got things that are happening in the last half hour.
I love this. This is like a new. We got the moving camera per usual for you, and it feels like we're in a new room. Are you in the kitchen or something? Are you still in the office? Where are you at?
No, I'm in the kitchen because my wife's not here.
Okay, all right. Well, let's get this thing underway. No more.
Hey, I want to say before we start,
absolutely.
My wife and I wish you weren't on here, Eddie, because Eddie is one of our favorite people. You are such a nice guy, and you're one of my favorites, and I'm not just saying this because of what we're doing. I like Feidelberg, too, but not that much.
Thank you, Mr.
Thanks, Mr.
Portnoy.
Portnoy. I like you.
Good. For a long time, you're an OG, as I am, too.
All right, we'll get it underway. All right, bang, bang. It is Monday, August 7th, Snake Draft Monday. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. As you can hear, it has now turned into once a summer extravaganza. Mike Portnoy Esquire comes on, and he does a snake draft. The third one, legendary moment so far in the first two, so I'm expecting nothing less. Also, we're joined by Feidelberg. John, thanks for coming in with us for this too.
I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very honored to be on a Mr. Portnoy episode. This is.
And I'm honored to have you, too. How's that sound?
I do have, before we get going, I have one thing. Is Sydney Wells in the office? I know she's occasionally here.
She's been here once over the last decade.
Bro, I got a text from Sydney Wells this morning. She asked me 1 year ago do you want to do a Barstool Outdoors thing? I said, sure. She texted me today. Are we still on for next week? Literally haven't heard her
You need it.
in like a year. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm down. By the way, the date she threw out was my birthday, but I felt weird being like, I can't do it. It's my birthday because I'm a grown man, so I'm just doing it. And then she goes, here's the flight you should get. And it's out of Chicago. And I love the fact that she's so disconnected from Barstool Sports. It's the only thing this company has talked about for 2 years is who's moving to Chicago and who isn't. And she's like, here, you must be out of I think she said out of ORD, whatever that.
Yeah.
Is there another John?
Okay.
Is there another John? Is something mixed
I don't
up?
think so.
Okay.
I would be surprised if she even knew his first name because he just goes by Feidelberg.
But Feits, like she's been. I feel like John Kelly has been like producing some of her stuff lately, so she might have been trying to email John Kelly or text John Kelly.
She asked if Jackie was also in, so I think she knows.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Because that's happened before. One time, I tried to get Jersey Jerry on a snake draft, and I was in communication with Jerry Thornton the whole time.
It was,
It happened. And I love Jerry Thornton. It was a great draft.
this is so funny that he didn't even realize he was texting the wrong person until Jerry Thornton popped up on the Zoom.
Yes.
That's how he didn't even realize it like
Yeah.
in the middle of texting him or anything.
That's
All of a
how-
sudden we see Jerry Thornton
It was
and
great.
it's like, oh,
It was great.
Jerry Thornton.
Yeah, it was great.
It's one of those two have to look in the mirror and decide which is bad. That over
He's got Jerry Thornton has a greatest deal. He never has to leave his house. He's been like this for how long? I mean, it's like he doesn't even really exist as a human being. Really? How do you know that that's really a person?
It's
I
true.
happen to know him because he was at my son's first wedding. And that was a long time ago. But he got a good deal. He has a very good deal.
Not the worst. Not the worst. All right, we could jump in here. Mr. Portnoy, our producer,
Yes.
Harry over there, he is number 1 through 5 behind his back. What number do you think it is?
I don't even understand the question, but I'll say 1.
No.
Eddie, you got to understand. I don't know what the F this is all about. I'm just going to, I got a lot of things I'm going to say. I'm going to get it in one way or another. And that's going to be all I know.
That's what you're supposed to do.
It may not comport with what you expect to happen, but I got a list of stuff. I'm going to get it in one way or the other.
I appreciate it. That's all.
That's exactly what we expected to happen.
Well, you
though.
did the right thing. You threw
Yeah.
out a number.
Yeah.
Was it 1, Harry?
No.
All right. John, 1 through 5.
I'll go 3.
No.
Chief.
4.
No.
Dave.
Uh-oh.
5.
No.
Fuck.
3.
I'm already lost.
Oh, what an idiot.
All right. Mr. Portnoy, 1 through 5.
No, just give him.
No.
No. It's not
Is that
that.
a trick question? I just gave you one.
No, we're all idiots. My apologies.
No,
You're
you're
the
the idiot.
He didn't know, too. He was thinking.
No,
Don't
I
I-
wasn't.
He
I was
guessed an available number.
I
I
know
was
what number it
guessing
was.
between. I was about to say it even.
All right, give us a new number.
Wait a minute. I don't want to make a total fool out of myself, but I have to ask Eddie.
Yes.
You could have helped me with this before when we spoke.
I
don't even understand what picking that number means.
You're right. I should have sent you the 2 that you've done previously, to try to refresh.
That wouldn't have
To
helped.
jog your
Yes.
memory.
Can we just give him the first overall pick?
I'm okay with
Yeah,
that.
just
if
tell me
everyone
what
is.
the hell that
You're
number
gonna
is.
pick
right.
first. You're gonna pick first, but we're not. We got to
Okay.
figure out the rest.
All right, you're gonna pick
Is
up.
that
All right.
too much to ask to somebody just explain that to me?
All right. You know what? Great, Chief. Great call. John, 1
Dude,
through
this
4.
is a great start.
It's a perfect
things
start.
I don't understand. Picking numbers. That's Mr. Portnoy.
Yeah, I've never been less interested in my picks or anyone else's
Oh, I
picks.
got like 12.
This is a one-man show and a 5-man stage. That's all this is right now. John, 1 through 4.
3.
No.
2.
No.
Dave,
1.
No.
4.
Yes.
God damn.
I'll go second. 1 through 3, John.
3.
Yes.
Let's go.
3, 4, or 5. Do you want?
I'll do 3.
Okay, Chief.
2.
Yes.
I'll go 4th.
All right, Everyone's just like, yeah, I'll do whatever. Just you know. Before we get going, though, I want to talk about Miller Lite. It's easy to feel nostalgic in the summertime, boys, especially when you got a beer in your hand, but not just any beer. It's that delicious 96-calorie light beer that actually tastes like beer.
I mean, we've been talking about things that don't make sense. Miller Lite always makes sense.
It does.
When's the right
In
time
any
for Miller
occasion.
Lite?
Yep.
Nice, cold one. Everything seems simple. Everything seems right. Miller Lite, you can always depend on it. The best.
You're absolutely right, because when it's summertime, it tastes like Miller time. Miller time is when you and your friends can get together and enjoy the simple things in life. So crack open a white can and let the great taste of Miller Lite hit your taste buds so hard you feel it in your heart. That's it. I mean, Lollapalooza weekend is over, but I'm sure a lot of Millers were consumed by all.
One thing that doesn't make sense about it, it's probably the only beverage besides maybe just water that's good year-round. Like, no matter the season, football season, March Madness, summertime, Miller Lite always hits. If you're having like a red wine, you're not having red wine in the summer.
You
Gross.
got that right.
Yeah, Miller Lite plays 12 months a year.
So make unforgettable summer memories with Miller Lite. Just go to MillerLite.com/redline to get it delivered right to your door. Or you could find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Just make sure you celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. All right, let's hop into this draft.
I actually did want 4.
We're here for the
because, or 1 rather, because my brain's so
How's
sharp.
your nose?
I understand
How's
everything.
your nose?
Excellent.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's actually, I hate my nose. It doesn't really work well. I don't have a very sharp sense
What
of
do you mean
smell.
it doesn't work well?
It does. I can't smell things well. Like, it's like having bad eyes.
I'm with Dave on that. Despite the size, I got nothing. I don't smell shit.
It's got to be such a strong smell for me to smell it.
You know something? I'm going to tell you, I wish you could come to my condo right now. I'll tell you why. I know I'm getting off message here, but I got to tell you this anyway. As we're speaking, we have a smell in our refrigerator, which I found out. My wife and I have been trying to pinpoint what it's coming from. It's a fish smell. White Sox Dave, we could test you on this.
That would be great.
When we open the refrigerator, I was going to talk about this no matter what, so I'm going to talk about it now.
Perfect.
Because this is happening now. This is like now. When we open the refrigerator door, there's a smell of fish. And my wife and I couldn't figure it out. I did have some fish the other day in the refrigerator, but it didn't smell. It was on a dish. And finally, my wife said to me, you know, I just remembered when I brought it back from the supermarket, there might have been a little spillage from the dish. And of course, now I have no idea where it's coming from. I could use somebody like White Sox Dave to stick his face inside. I'll leave the door open. You could come over here and stick your face inside the refrigerator and see if you can pinpoint it, because it's driving me nuts. I've washed every counter inside this refrigerator, and it's still there. And of course, you don't smell it immediately when you open the door, but it creeps up on you.
Okay. You're located in Boston area, right?
He's got a
Very
bad
good
nose,
guess.
though.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
He's got a bad
but
nose,
he's
though, Mr.
saying
Portnoy.
no. Here, I understand what he's saying.
No, I don't.
My nose is so bad, but like if it's dead fish, I can smell. If it's like, you know, if it's in one of the like vegetable drawer things, then I'd be able to smell it in there. But if it's like in another part of the fridge, I was sticking my nose, I wouldn't be able to smell it.
No.
Well, how do you think I would feel if you flew here and the first thing you said to me is, I don't smell anything? I'd be very disappointed.
Well, there's a chance that happens.
Well,
And
you're
I'm
not
going to
coming.
be talking
I
to
need
our
somebody-
travel
I
people
need
about
some-
flying out there and smelling your fridge as soon as this episode drops. So you need to save it for the weekend.
I got
Yeah, don't
to
clean that
think
anymore.
that over. You don't sound all that positive that you could solve the problem.
I'm not.
I want somebody who's going to say, I know I can take care of this. Not maybe I can.
I mean, it sounds like a very tough job. I don't want to make
It is.
promises I can't.
It sounds like you should sit outside Logan Airport and try to get a police sniffing dog to bring to the house.
That's a good idea, Eddie. Don't say anything else this morning.
Okay, I'll stop there. I will stop there.
That was a great. That was a wonderful suggestion.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And on that note, you're on the clock. Give us the first thing that you don't understand, Mr. Portnoy.
You're talking to me now, right? Okay. Anybody know what an atomic clock is? Don't Google it. Don't Google it.
I've certainly heard it's like the most accurate clock, right?
Thank you,
Yeah.
John. Thank you. I have an atomic clock here, believe it or not. And I've had it for a number of years. And it has the time. It has the date. One of the reasons I've had it for, I want to say now 5-6 years. One of the reasons I got it, though, was because it gives you the outside temperature. It gives you the inside temperature and the outside temperature, theoretically. Unfortunately, the freaking thing, the temperature part of it, which is one of the reasons I bought it, is not dependable. So sometimes it's accurate and sometimes it's not. And if anybody ever has dealt with a thermometer, you like to know, or any kind of a device telling you the temperature, you like to know that it's accurate. Not that it may be right, it may not be right. What the fuck? You don't know. So the company was out of Wisconsin. So believe it or not, me being the idiot that I am, I thought I would get a hold of them. And there's a very nice lady that answered the phone. I was on the phone with her for 45 minutes. By the way, this atomic clock, when we first set it up, the way you have to set it, this sounds crazy. The way you have to set it up when we first got it, we had to have the phone face someplace in Wisconsin. This is the truth. In order to get it working correctly, you had to go outside, have the phone face Wisconsin, and then it would somehow, record it. And it was insane to do it this way, but we did it. So it worked for a little while. But as I'm speaking to you right now, I've made a couple of phone calls because the temperature is unreliable. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's not. If you ever want to see the temperature on a device, you'd like to know that what you're seeing is accurate, right? Everybody agree on that?
Absolutely.
This is not accurate.
100%.
Right now it's
Why
been
even
at
have it,
58 degrees. It's been at 58 degrees for the last week. It has not been 58 degrees here without a change for the last week. So I have lost all confidence in this.
Okay.
All right? So that's what I don't understand. I'm coming back. I don't understand. You thought I got off track there. I don't understand why this freaking thing doesn't work the way it's supposed to. How's that sound?
Okay.
Everything I'm gonna do, I'm gonna finish with I don't understand. You got to remind me.
So not how it works, but why it doesn't work is the real.
Correct.
Is the
Were
real.
you pointing it at
That was a good twist.
Yeah, were you pointing it at like Ohio or something by mistake, you think? When you were setting it up?
No. When I bought it, which was years ago, we got it running.
Okay.
But then, like I said, and it does show me the time and the date correctly, but the outside temperature, no.
So I'm not putting down. I don't understand the atomic clock. I'm putting down why your atomic clock doesn't work
right. Yes.
Yeah.
The thermometer on
everybody
the
else-
atomic clock.
Yeah.
Why the thermometer on
Why is it atomic clock doesn't work? Okay. Hey, you know what? Great pick.
Mr.
I
Portnoy,
can't even begin to answer that.
can I
so-
ask you a couple questions?
You can ask. That doesn't mean I have to answer them. Try.
Is it electric or battery powered?
Battery powered.
Have you
Oh,
tried
by the way,
changing the
I
batteries?
want to say one other thing about this clock. What a pain in the ass it is on daylight savings to change it.
Oh,
Sometimes I think I'll wait till we
that's
go
something
back
I don't understand.
I won't make the change.
Just wait
That's
until
what Bill Belichick does, Mr. Portnoy. So you're in good company.
Yeah, thank you.
He just waits.
He can't figure out his car.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. All right. So first overall pick is he can't figure out why his atomic clock doesn't work.
Cross it off your board.
Yes. Cross it off.
that was going to be my
Good
first
pick.
overall pick.
Great pick. Take it out. All right, it's my pick. It's very chalky, but it's a lot of talk in the world now with AI and meta and whatever. But I don't understand quantum anything. Everyone says quantum this, quantum. I don't get quantum.
The word?
Just
I couldn't define it for you. I don't know what a quantum
Try
is.
defining it. Mr. Portnoy, you know what quantum means?
Wasn't there something called quantum metrics?
Quantum
Yeah,
mechanics, quantum physics. I think there's
Quantum physics, maybe.
yeah.
All right, as the smartest person on this panel, I'm going to try to
That's
dissect what the
What a
word
scary
means.
thought that is.
You're
Go
going
on.
to use
This
the
is just
word,
guy who
root
saw the
word.
new Spider-Man.
The root word quantify means count, right? Probably
You're
Latin
the
or
smart
Greek
guy.
origins. I think I'm onto something.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Smallest discrete unit of a phenomena. That's what it means.
And how there's like
That
quantum
makes me
worlds
even
and
more confused.
quantum like.
I don't know anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
It makes no sense
Yeah.
to me. I don't understand.
I was about to say that, but I changed my mind.
I've tried to listen to podcasts on them, and I turn them off because I don't get it.
Okay.
So yeah, quantum anything.
Quantum.
Fights, you're up.
Fuck. Okay. I'm like just learning I'm on a draft.
Yeah.
How'd you forget?
I guess I have this is hard because Eddie just threw me off with him going chalk right away because mine are all pretty specific.
Go specific.
And I think I'm going to stick with that. Like, I know someone's going to say the pyramids and flying. And
Yeah.
I don't understand those things, but I'm going to go with the human body. Specifically what I don't understand and what infuriates me to no end is why it works with some things and not with others. Like, I don't understand. There's plenty of things I don't understand about it. I don't understand how it just heals. I think that's crazy. I don't understand most of it. But the thing that pisses me off the most is when I say move my finger, boom, moves all the time.
It doesn't make
When
sense.
I say, what's that?
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. But then if that works, if my brain saying do this, if that works, if I tell my brain, remember this, that should work. That it should just do that. There's no reason it can do all this when I give the command and not when I go remember that.
And it's
it should be able.
It's like faster than the speed of light. Like you don't have to wait. If you're thinking about it,
It's immediate. All
Yeah.
I'm doing right now, I'm telling it to do. But if I say remember this phone number, I can't remember it. That
John.
doesn't make sense to me.
John, can I say something to you?
Yes, please, sir.
I'm 76 freaking years old. And wait till you get to my age. You look like a genius based on what you just said compared to me. Trust me on that. That is not going to get better for you. I guarantee you that. It's going to get worse.
That's the real bitch of it, is that it's gonna make less and less sense as time goes on.
Absolutely.
Do you ever?
I can't remember. I can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago, let alone get my hands to go in a certain direction.
Or even all the stuff your body does without you telling it. Like, how does it just know to like keep your heart beating and your lungs breathing? Like, it just does it.
And it's a real confusing. The healing thing's really the big one for me too. Why does it just heal? For some reason we freak out. We're like, lizards grow its tail back. That's nuts. Well, fucking guess what? I grow my body back all the time.
It's true.
It's true.
It's true. Do you want to like?
You can't really grow a limb back, but you can like grow your skin back.
Hey,
I just did it
I
with
grow
my nose.
skin back. I got a hangnail right now. That's gonna be gone in like 2 days.
How
It's gonna
about
be fixed.
how about just like how life is created? Like you fuck and then there's a whole other human. That's insane. That's insane. That's like if you like boil it down, it just starts splitting and multiplying, and then it's like this whole other person that you have to like talk to and shit just because two people
I
decide
feel
to
like
have sex.
all these things, like people are gonna be like, "You're so dumb. It's because of blank." And it's like, well, yeah, I know it's because of blank. I know that, but why is that?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. Like you're right. You get a scrape and you just regenerate.
It just comes back. I
Like
remember
that,
they
you
freaked
should
out
die.
when
You should just
Dave-
leak forever.
Yeah.
When David Price was on the Sox and he tore his rotator cuff and went to see Dr. James Andrews. I think it was his rotator cuff. No, it might have been his elbow, whatever it was. And he went to see Dr. James Andrews and he's like, I've never seen anything like this. This is Wolverine-like. It just healed itself. You don't need surgery anymore. The fact that just happens with regularity in people, and obviously that's an extreme case, but like I tear things, I rip things, be it just skin all the time, and it's just better.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Can
think
I
it's a
say
good
something
pick.
about this,
Yeah,
please?
Please.
I'm going to show you my two. Can you see my? No, you can't hear, I guess. My two on either one of my hands, my pinky fingers, I no longer, they're bone on bone, okay? On both of them. In fact, I used to love to play golf. I was terrible, but I can't because when my two pinky fingers are bone on bone and I try to grip a golf glove after about 3 times, starts to hurt and hurt badly. So this has no, maybe John, you're an exception. I don't know, but mine has not grown back. And I've had this thing where it's bone on bone, and there should be cartilage in between, and it's never come back. So I maybe I'm just a loser in this business of regeneration. I don't know, but I've had this problem now for a while, and it's a big problem in my life. Believe it or not, you're laughing at me, and I'm crying. It's all right.
I'm laughing at Dave Dip. It was dribbling out. Is that what's the word I'm looking for?
That's your hand.
It's not autism. It starts with an A though.
Arthritis.
Autoimmune.
Arthritis.
Arthritis.
Yeah. Is that arthritis?
No, I don't think. No, it's not. I don't have any. I think what happens when you don't have. I used to be a doctor. I think when you don't have cartilage in there between the bones, you're going to be subject to having arthritis. Okay. I don't have arthritis in those two pinky fingers on either hand. What I have is the bone on bone. And I imagine arthritis could eventually become a problem, but it's not now. I can't even get to that problem because it's bone on bone. I want you to see if you've ever seen these ads too. And believe me, I'm serious about this. For these sleeves that they sell,
The copper fit, like the Brett
and they
Favre
do it
stuff.
for knee on knee, with two knees that are bone on bone. If they would have one that would be for a little bitty pinky finger, I would buy it in a second. And I've looked. There's no such thing.
I hate to say this, but this is like draft inception because you said you're having these problems. When last draft, things that are going downhill, you drafted your doctor, Dr. Zeitler. So, I mean,
You got a good memory. Dr. Zeitler, by the way, we shouldn't be laughing because he's no longer with us.
Oh,
sorry.
shit.
R.I.P. Sorry.
Went downhill fast.
What?
Yeah, he went downhill real fast.
How did you, goddamn you, how do you remember that? I didn't even know. Did you have that written down somewhere?
No, I just remember. I was like, Dr. Zeitler, I'm pretty sure it was a name. And then I Googled it, and I was like, all right, I nailed it. Doctor, how could I? You took
He's
it.
been gone.
That's something
Eddie,
I don't
he's been gone
understand.
for quite a while.
You took Dr. Zeitler 9 overall. That's not something you forget. Like, that's just. So this is inception. That's why you're not regenerating because you got a downhill doctor.
Well, his doctor's dead.
Yeah.
That's why he's not regenerating.
All right, Chief, you're up.
I think we talked about this like recently. Vinyl records. It's just like a piece of plastic and I don't know how it works. The little pin goes on it and it goes down and it's somehow like, it all looks the exact same. And somehow that little pin hitting like different parts of it makes every note that you could ever want. I've watched videos on this and they're like, oh, it like carves out. I'm like, no, that doesn't make any fucking sense at all. So I'm taking vinyl records.
I think it's a great pick.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't know.
You know something? If I ever worried about that, I'd worry about myself.
You've never watched a record player and be like, how is this?
How's this
I've
speeding
never
up
seen.
this
I know what a record player is. I'm telling you that it never occurred to me to wonder why is this happening. Why I just never occurred to me to think about it. And I said I'd worry about myself.
Yeah.
I did. I'm a little worried about you too.
All right. Join the club.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. It's impossible.
and this is one of those things. Like what Mark is saying, no one
knows.
If someone would offer a logical explanation, like you're full of shit.
Yep.
So yeah, White Sox, Dave.
I mean, I was hoping to get the first overall pick to take this one, but now that you guys are all giving your picks, I'm a little worried. But my pick is girls. I don't fucking understand women. They're the most confusing, and more specifically, vaginas. What the fuck is up with those things? No one knows what to do with those
I'm sorry,
things.
I didn't hear the first thing you said. Say it again.
Women, girls. I
girls.
don't understand
Okay.
a thing about them.
They
Sounds
are,
like somebody hasn't seen the Barbie movie.
I have not.
they are a complicated creature.
Yeah, they're the most complicated, some would say.
Yeah.
Any insight here, Mr. Portnoy?
I would just broaden that out to humans, not just girls. Human beings.
I would disagree with
Yeah,
that.
like,
I
men
think
are
the
simple.
man is very simple.
We need food,
you know something?
couch time, like R&R time, and sex like once every few months, and that's it.
But even the sex, if you can extrapolate that.
That's a
to
lot
where
more
it's very
simple.
confusing for a woman. For a man, it's very simple.
Yeah.
It is. It's just up down.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
That's all.
exactly.
It's true.
See, when you're my age, you guys are all kids. When you're my age, you don't even think about this anymore.
That sounds like bliss.
Yeah, that's Nirvana right there. That's
What?
Nirvana.
I would love to not think about it anymore.
Sounds nice.
You'll reach a stage where you won't. Trust me.
I look forward to that.
You get old enough, your day is just this fucking clock is running my show right now.
Dave, you're up again.
And then I will go with I'm gonna go with more specific for this one, I think. Actually, no, I'm not. Money. I know how to spend money, and that's it. I don't know a fucking thing about money, like investments and stocks and
Let me tell you something.
maturation and all that stuff. Just I get the money, I spend the money, and then the money goes away.
Money is fake. Money is the fakest thing in the world.
It's couldn't
fake.
be more fake.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't
It's
have
all
any
What do
money.
you mean by that?
an
What
abstract
do you mean by that?
thought. It's
It's just
the
something
value
that we
assign
agree
to
on.
it. Yeah.
It's not tied to anything.
We-
It's just like whenever we need, we just make more. We just print more. Because it's not, it's
Well,
just
you
like
know something?
we just agree
Do you
that it's worth
realize what a
something.
controversial thing that you're saying
I don't think it is
right now?
If you tie it
Because-
to gold, I would understand that.
Well,
There's a finite amount of gold.
Right. That I understand.
Yeah.
The money
one
today.
time, at one time, this country was on the gold standard,
Mm-hmm.
and they couldn't keep printing money unless there was gold to back it up.
Right.
And of course, that's no longer the case.
I think that was Nixon,
They
right?
keep
It
printing
was.
it if they need it.
Right.
That's what it amounts.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Right.
How
And then
did,
we're just like, yeah, sure, that's fine. It would just make more and more and more and
you
more.
want to
Right.
talk about inflation right now, Ed?
It's fake. It's the fakest thing in the world.
It doesn't make sense to me though. Like it's.
I think
like,
that's a great pick. Money is, I don't
I
understand
don't.
it.
I don't understand.
That's
a
why
single
in some
fucking
of
thing
these
about it.
countries, if you want to buy a pizza, you got to come in with a wheelbarrow with currency.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah, I was-
10,000 yen or whatever.
Yeah, I
for
was
a-
in the
for a-
Dominican.
right,
for
A
a piece of
cheeseburger was
sushi.
like 30,000 pesos. I was like, if I had $30,000, I'd be a multimillionaire.
It's like this cheeseburger better be fucking amazing.
If I had $30,000,
You know,
multi-millionaire.
I'll say one other thing about that. It's good. It's a good subject, but you think about what a broad subject that is. How people judge people by how much money they have.
Oh, I
How you
judge you.
can acquire things that. Let's talk about an automobile. You look at an automobile, costs money, but the way it's set up, if you want to take possession of it a certain way, say lease it, or a very high-priced vehicle, you can lease it. Requires less money than it appears to have, but people will judge someone based on what they're driving, right? And it all comes back to money. There's a famous quote, and I'm a big fan of Kornheiser. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he always talks about someone that and I'm Tony Kornheiser, and he once asked somebody in the entertainment business, what's this all about? And it was a guy that I think it was in the television industry. He said, the answer to all your questions is money. That was the answer to every single question. Money.
Yeah.
I know that's
Mr.
the answer to
Portnoy, I
everything.
think that's got to be that's got to be one of the first times someone said there's a famous quote. I thought you were coming as with Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah.
And you listened to Tony Kornheiser.
No, it was the guy
I
that
forgot
told
it.
it to
Wait a minute.
Kornheiser.
I forgot who. For my own knowledge, I already forgot who was Marcus Aurelius. I forgot.
He was certainly a Roman somebody. I want to say
A Roman somebody. Okay.
I want to say
He was a somebody in the Roman.
He was
business.
a Roman
Okay,
Empire.
I got it.
He was
general. Was he the emperor?
He was the emperor, and he's the guy like people quote him all the time because he invented like Stoicism.
He invented what now?
Stoicism, like he was a Stoic or one of the Stoics. It's like a way of I don't know, whatever.
What,
Moving on.
Stoics?
You don't know what
We'll
the
put that
Stoics
one
are?
down.
Yeah, put that down.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Shout out to Tony Kornheiser
Yeah.
for that one. Chief, you're up.
I'll go with another like music sort of related one. I don't understand how radio waves work. Where it's like there's just
They're invisible. They're not there.
They're invisible, but then you turn on the radio with like an antenna or something, and all of a sudden it's like that sound was just passing through the air, and you just zapped it in, and it blows out of your speakers. So it's just around all the time. Mm-hmm. There's just radio waves all the
Everywhere.
time, and they can like how do they send sound over that?
And it goes
But we
through
can't- and
solid
it can-
shit.
Yeah, fast.
Yes. It doesn't make sense.
I don't understand that. So
I don't even think I knew that much of it until right now.
No.
But it's like you know,
now
like
I'm more
like an antenna, right? Like I know, like that little metal. Remember, like the old boom boxes? They
Yeah,
would have like
metal.
the little metal stick,
Yeah.
and somehow that metal
cars.
stick would like catch music in the
And
air.
it was just like a shitty fucking aluminum.
Yeah, it was
that could
nothing.
It was nothing.
Yeah, like what was in that thing?
What? How does that work? What is that?
on a similar note, I had like a friendship ending fight in like 5th grade, 6th grade, something like that. Like I'm like not friends with this kid anymore because he got Wi-Fi in his house, and he was like, "It's faster than regular internet." And I was like, "There's no fucking way this is faster than plugging it into the computer, you moron." And he's like, "You don't understand the future." And I was like, "You don't understand anything. You're a moron if you think that like Wi-Fi is a thing, that internet's just floating around the house." He was right.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, that was on my list too.
What, internet?
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I figured that I had it too, but I figured that radio kind of
It's the
took
same-
it, so I brought it
yeah.
up.
Okay.
It's close enough.
I have
Yeah.
a question
Yeah.
related to this. I have Wi-Fi here, but there's something when I leave the condo here. It comes in LTE. You folks know what that is?
Nope.
I know it's on my phone,
like,
but-
it's something for data.
It's on
I
your
think.
phone, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's on your phone. It does not work as well as the Wi-Fi that you have where you live or maybe where you work, right? The
It's-
LTE goes to the mobile phone, right? Am
Yeah.
I right about that?
Yeah. It's like that.
That doesn't
or
work as well.
It's like that or the 5G. It's like internet when you're not on Wi-Fi, right? Right?
LTE, yes.
Yeah,
correct.
that's correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it
That's exactly
doesn't
what
work as well.
Yeah.
If you're going to lose it, if you're going to get disconnected, that's when you're on that LTE. I don't even know what the LTE stands for, except when it's up there, I know it's not going to work that way.
Yeah, I mean,
Fact.
Right?
Yeah. No, 100%.
unless your Wi-Fi sucks, then it's
Yeah, but
it's better.
Then isn't 5G and LTE like similar too?
yeah. I think 5G, LTE, and then like once you get to 3G, then you're really. You're in the
You're
shitter.
you're in like 2011.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But you're right though. What's the difference? Why aren't like
I don't know.
why isn't LTE just why isn't it all just one umbrella?
Well, the thing with the LTE, you know, when that's on your phone, you got to get off as fast as possible before you lose the call.
Feidelberg, you're up.
To people who are smart, this entire episode is just one Mean Girls clip.
Yeah.
Like, these guys don't know something? What the hell?
Don't show this to Kelly Keeks.
Yeah.
This one's a specific one, but it's one I don't, and I at times I would like to understand, at other times I'm happy the way I am. I don't understand how passion. I don't get it. I wish there were times where I had more of it. Other times I'm like, this is good. But people who can just fight about something for hours, weeks, days, months, whatever on end, doesn't make sense to me.
So you're taking
What
like
was the first? I didn't hear the first word you used. Say it again.
Passion, Mr. Portnoy.
Oh, passion.
like you're
All
talking
right.
like you don't understand how people care about stuff.
Yeah, like really hard. Like I get like, you know, being excited about a game or a movie or a song, how you can make that last for days, weeks, months, years, whatever, that blows my mind.
But there's got to be something you're passionate about.
Eddie, I don't know if they're like, I don't know if there's something I'm passionate about to the level that like is someone else's 10th passion.
I'm
Where
trying
I'll be like, yeah, that's pretty good.
now.
I was going to challenge you, but I think you're knowing your personality. You're kind of right. Like I was going to be like, what if I just vehemently just disagreed with you about Sour Patch being a good candy? You know, I know you.
I'd
love
say,
those.
you know what, we all got different tastes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but I thought I'd ignite something, but then I was like, no, that's.
What about like
That's what.
they
Hey,
ripped
Eddie,
the Patriots
that
from
that
you?
example sucked.
he
Really? I mean,
he loves Sour Patch.
I do love Sour Patch, but I also completely understand why someone wouldn't like them.
Yeah,
I don't like them.
No, but I'm trying to think if I know anybody, like literally anyone, who is like super passionate about something. Like, what are you passionate
how
about?
about politics?
That's
Like I can have an
that's a
opinion. I
mental
have an
illness.
You don't
opinion.
think there's a
But then
lot
if you
of
want me to
people-
fight about it for a long time, I don't care.
Wait a minute. You don't think in this world we live in right now, there's
Yeah.
a lot of people that are very passionate about you may not be, but there are a lot of people that are a lot.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
that's true.
I don't understand how they get to that level.
I got something like that on my list, but yeah,
What do you think about these Trump indictments, Mr. Portnoy?
no.
Just joking.
I'm
Just
gonna
joking.
you know
Just joking.
something? That's another show. I'm going to pass on that.
That's another show. That's my cousins.
I was just joking.
Passion.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Caring about stuff.
Caring, yeah.
What's that?
Back to me. Hey, let's take another pause here because I want to talk about MUGSY jeans because we got a great promo code for you. If you're not in on MUGSY already, which you should be, they put the three of us on a billboard, which was awesome. And we've really been rocking with them ever since. The most comfortable jeans, chinos, shorts, and joggers ever.
I don't wear anything else on my ass. I'm wearing them right now. In the wintertime, I wear
too.
the jeans. The joggers are my favorite pants on earth. But anything, like they're great for golf. They're great for date night. They are great for just standard casual wear. MUGSY is awesome.
The only
Yeah,
jean
fully
that you
endorsed.
can just you don't feel the need to take them off when you get home.
That's it's very true.
Yeah.
Corduroy,
Yeah.
fuck that.
Yeah.
You got that buttery, soft, patented stretch material that looks stylish but is insanely comfortable. Never too baggy, never too tight. You can go from the backyard to the barbecue in one swift motion all summer long. So head to mugsy.com and get 10% off using code Chicago. That's 10% off some of the most premium jeans, chinos, swimwear, and shorts on the internet. MUGSY also offers free shipping and returns, so there's absolutely no risk. Give them a shot. And if you're in Chicago, Boston, D.C., or Austin, Texas, go check out their storefront. That's downtown, okay?
Yeah, ours is in Lincoln Park.
Yep. Easy vibes every time. Enjoy a beer while you shop. It's a no-brainer, really. Go buy some MUGSY. We cannot speak highly of them enough. All right, let's get back on the draft. I don't know how to exactly describe it. You guys are going to be like, you're an idiot, but the underwater tunnels,
That's a great one.
yeah, like what is the
How
tunnel?
the
Like-
fuck
like the
did they
channel.
build them?
What?
Like the channel in France and England.
No, like what is the one you go from LaGuardia to?
Like under the river?
Yes.
Like the Lincoln Tunnel?
Yes, I don't understand how they built those.
Agreed.
Okay.
I used to think very, very recently I learned that they're like floating. I thought they were on the bottom of the ocean floor.
I thought they were under the bedrock. They're floating?
I don't know what the bedrock is, so maybe.
I thought they
floating?
drilled like below the water.
Yeah, they can't
Yeah,
be floating.
but then isn't that essentially floating then? I thought you were just driving on the bottom of the ocean floor.
I think you are.
I think you're underneath the bottom of the ocean floor.
Mr. Portnoy, can you
hey.
help us out here?
No. No, sir, I'll tell you something. The tunnels in Boston right now are under constant construction. And based on how they do things around here, the government and whatnot, the fact that people still have confidence that they're not going to drown in there, if you think about it, really, they don't do anything well. Why would they do that well?
That's a good point.
And the tunnels right now are being basically having major work done on them. And the traffic is an abomination.
Yeah. So I underground water travel road tunnels. Like, how would I equate that?
I think underwater tunnels.
Yeah, that's
Underwater
fine.
tunnels?
Because I have the
But
same thought every time I'm going to LaGuardia or Newark.
Yeah, but I don't want that to be like misconstrued as like pipes. Because like
No.
No, you could have. I would just say like a no one thinks of
Underwater
a
road
tunnel
tunnels.
as a pipe.
Yeah.
They're two different words.
yeah,
How do they get
just
it dry?
We are so dumb.
No,
What
nobody
about
knows how this works.
what about when a bridge collapses? That happens, right?
Yeah,
You see I mean, it's the same people that constructing those that are involved in doing the tunnels, I assume.
Yeah,
probably.
And that happens.
Yeah.
So underwater road tunnel. I don't understand.
Do the
that
construction
at all.
workers wear like scuba gear and stuff, Mr. Portnoy?
I don't think
Wouldn't
they get
you-
wet.
You mean if they would just come in to repair it? You mean?
Yeah,
I don't know. Build it, repair it, anything.
I think I lose a little confidence. I'm here to fix the tunnel. He's wearing scuba gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd lose a little confidence in what was going to happen.
I think, Dave, you're making a lot of sense. How you fix
You
the
gotta
outside?
breathe. Yeah.
how you swinging a hammer with velocity?
We
in
don't
water?
have gills.
This conversation makes me think we should outlaw tunnels. Like they're so dangerous.
Yeah, dude, I don't.
Yeah.
I
You
don't.
ever,
you
you
just
ever
said
seen
something-
Vegas Vacation where he's sticking his gum in his fingers in the
Hoover Dam.
The Hoover Dam?
Yeah.
Like, what if that happens in the Lincoln Tunnel?
Yeah, I don't
Like, it's
know.
all just gonna fucking collapse, isn't it? With all the water pressure and shit, it
Yes,
creeps
dude.
me out.
Yeah.
If
So
I
I
just
think
learned
it's an
anything about
outstanding pick,
underwater
Ed.
pressure the last few weeks, it's going to collapse fast.
Yeah,
Yeah. True.
I don't like that.
Yep.
Chief just goes, he just said, we're all so dumb, or we're so dumb. And I agree wholeheartedly. Do you think that there's going to be something someone says during this draft that someone else on the panel can explain?
I hope so, because then I hope that person's wrong, and then we can say that they're dumb too. So just be like, dumb off.
I could explain why the
everyone's gonna go,
thermometer
"Yeah, great one."
on his clock doesn't work. I'm just joking. I get it.
All right. On that note, Mr. Portnoy, you're up again.
All right, I got a question. This is a little different than what's the deal with these people, the beards? I don't get it.
What do you mean?
I used,
Portnoy, you got a
David
beard.
Letterman is maybe my favorite entertainer of all time. All right, what the hell is it with that beard? I don't get it. I don't know why. And these beards, and you see these athletes, they look like cavemen. What's the point?
So
I
people,
don't get
people
it.
with long beards is your.
I mean, they're not only long, they're unkempt. I mean, they haven't even gone near somebody to trim it. They just let them grow. I don't get it. I just don't understand it.
So
Is there anybody here that would, wait a minute. One other question. Is there anybody here in this little show we're doing that would let a beard grow like that? I'm not talking about you got a mustache over there. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about coming down to,
I'm raising my hand. I'm not to ask a question, to not saying I'm doing this. For the record, continue, Mr. Portnoy.
I don't understand. What did you just do?
I don't know.
ignore
I
it.
don't know what he said either. John, what were you gonna say?
I first of all, if I could, I'm not man enough. If I could grow an unkempt beard, I would.
Really?
I actually, just for fun. If I've done it very poorly before. If I could actually do it,
That's your definition of fun?
yeah, why not? I think in this job that we have, I think you're silly if you're always looking the same. We're lucky enough that we can just do crazy shit and it's fucking whatever. Why not get a dumb haircut, get dumb facial hair? Who cares?
Well, all right. Let me ask you a question then. How do you, again, I'm going to come back to Dave Letterman. Why? Why?
Because he was never able to before, so now he wants to be
He's
different.
free.
I guess.
You think that's the reason?
Yeah, he's out from under the corporate thumb.
So you think that's why he does it? I don't know.
I would get. Wait, so question: Are you have a little bit of facial hair? Do you not have a beard, or just make it like as a long?
No,
beard
I'm talking about
specifically?
something that comes down,
Okay.
way down on my chest and what. I'm talking about something that's out of control.
Okay. All right.
Oh wow, he looks like George R. R. Martin now.
Yeah, you never seen that?
I did not know this was
Yeah.
his beard now.
Yeah. I don't know. People like the looks. I guess it's the only answer I might have to one of these questions.
Mr. Portnoy, I say live and let live on this podcast very frequently. If he wants the long beard,
except
have
for
at
when
the
he has
long
a problem
beard.
with
No,
something.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's true.
saying I'm not saying it's not against the law. I'm not saying he can't do it.
True.
And live and let live. You can say that about a lot of things, but it looks awful on some of the. I mean, I don't get it. Especially, I want to tell you about a professional athlete, mostly a baseball player. Say they're playing in this hot sun and whatnot, and it must be so damn uncomfortable. And I would think, I don't get it.
Yeah, I would agree. But if I could have a beard like a guy like Edelman, remember Edelman used to have that? Like, I think that looks awesome. Like, if I could do that, I would.
There was a guy I saw the other day, a baseball player. He's one of the better pitchers in baseball. I forget his name. Looked like Adolf Hitler. I mean, I'm sorry, he did. That's all I could think of when I was looking at him. The Fuhrer is back.
What team do you remember?
The pitcher.
Do you remember what team he was on?
What's that?
Do you remember what team he was on?
I think he might have been on Atlanta, one of the better teams, and he's their best pitcher. Might have been Atlanta. I'm not sure of that. But one of the better teams, and he's their best pitcher. And he's not a big guy. But he's
Is it that Spencer dude?
Yes, I think so.
Strider? Does he? He's got a mustache.
No, that's what I'm talking about now. I'm talking about somebody with a mustache. He looks like Adolf Hitler.
I mean, his is all the way around his lip. It's not like just under the nostrils.
This guy looks like Hitler.
All right, long beards. You have to make another pick now.
It's,
to support
it was
Ryan.
David Letterman's long beard.
Well, I said about Letterman. I just didn't. And Eddie, you gave actually a pretty good answer to that. I thought you said that he's just trying to. That's his own way of saying I don't have to live like this anymore.
Yes, like
But the others, Letterman hated so much the suits. You know what I mean? He didn't want to be the people that were running the show behind the scenes. He hated them.
yes.
Maybe that's just as why I say, and you're right, Eddie. You say I don't have to deal with this anymore.
Yes. So you are due for another pick.
Boy, that went by fast for me. Can somebody explain to me? Do you know the new mascot for the Detroit Lions? You know what the mascot is? Anybody see this?
I'll have to Google it.
Is it a lion?
It is a lion.
All right.
Can you imagine? When I was practicing law and somebody would come in and see me and we'd talk about some kind of issue, and I would always say, well, what's the upside and the downside? What do you think the upside is and the downside if you bring to a football stadium a live lion?
Oh, it's live.
What's the upside for that? I don't get. We're talking about things I don't understand.
Well,
I don't understand that. They got people there anyway. It's not like they're trying to get people to come watch the team. I mean, people are going to go say, hey, I think I'll go today because they got a live lion there. I don't think so. So what's the upside?
A zoo and a ball game all in one.
Decided this is an idiot.
I got to say,
Is it confirmed that they have a live
they
lion?
don't. So this was a clip on with Big Cat where the coach wanted to have a live lion, and the league said no. The league's like, you can't, because they agreed with you apparently. But
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
so they're making a fool out of me, but it's all right.
So the head coach Dan Campbell asked if they could have a live lion.
I can picture him asking for that.
For sure.
He's a whack job.
He is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I
don't think the Fords who still own the team, I don't think they'd be too much in favor of that.
Feels like a liability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think. I don't see the upside.
Guess you're hyped. I love live mascots in college football, like the Buffalo at
A
Colorado.
lion?
I think Baylor has a live bear. LSU has a live tiger.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. All right. So you don't have anything against Rory, the fake mascot in the stuffed suit. So this pick is Detroit Lions wanting a live lion.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good pick. Good pick.
That doesn't make sense.
Yep.
No.
Live
0
lion mascot.
Yes.
All right, I just crossed
Good.
that off my board.
Good, Mr. Portnoy. Back to me. Hey, let's take one more break here because we want to talk about Game Time, the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Created by fans for fans, Game Time is a ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. Really, they're big on that last-minute price drop, and we can attest to that. As you wait for the event to get tickets, they just keep going down and down. And it takes just 2 taps in 10 seconds. Once you buy your tickets, they're delivered right to your phone, no printer needed. It also allows you to share them seamlessly with your friends.
Super easy.
Not a big problem before the game. So
Add it right to the Apple Wallet.
yeah, you just could really skip the hassle, enjoy the moment. Ton of big concerts still coming up. Bruce Springsteen, Eric Church.
Wallet just happened. You could have got tickets that way.
Yes, I saw.
Got football season coming.
I saw the Offspring's coming. I might check that out.
You want to go
I
see
love the Offspring.
Dexter Holland's one of my favorites.
Great stuff. Great stuff. So all you got to do is download the Game Time app or go to the website, enter your email, redeem
Guns
code
N' Roses
DOGWALK.
too. Sorry to
Guns N'
interrupt.
Roses.
August 24th.
Yeah,
that
a lot of good
regular?
stuff.
Do you want to go?
Make sure you download the Game
Time.
Time app or go to the website, enter your email, redeem code DOGWALK for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply.
Yep.
It's that easy.
Everybody used to use the old shitty, and you see like, oh, ticket $100. Then by the time you check out for that ticket, it's like $300 with all that. You won't have to deal with any of that shit.
Yep. Go do it. Go use Game Time. All right, let's hop back in. Again, maybe stupid, but it's a stupid day.
Yep.
How do fish breathe? I don't understand how fish breathe. I know they don't have
Those little
lungs.
slits in their fucking things,
I don't get it.
in their gills or in their scales.
Yeah, they got gills, but they don't got lungs. But how do they breathe?
They Ed,
How-
nobody
Sure.
knows.
Sure. Can you tell me how we breathe?
Yeah, we got these like fucking airbags that go in and out in our.
Yeah,
They
but then
absorb
what
oxygen.
But then what?
It absorbs oxygen,
And then what?
You
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know what.
What do you call? Some of these questions have to do with human beings and how they mate, how they survive. Everything. A lot of these. I don't know what kind of. If you took a course in something, what would it be? I mean, you're talking about. I'm trying to think of. It's not biology, is it? But you're talking about. I don't know how people. How do they breathe? How do fish breathe? How does this breathe and that breathe? How do these people stay alive and this and that underwater? I mean, I don't even know what the discipline is that you call that, but it's something
it's something.
that you would go to school for. I
No,
think.
there are people who know this, but like at the same time, like human beings been around for 400,000 years, and now I feel like just like 20 years ago, people figured out what breathing is, like how it works.
No, but it makes sense though. We got this mouth, and air goes in and it cycles out.
but
Fish-
then, but
all right.
but like it sucks like a specific thing out of that air somehow.
And it
takes the
wastes all the rest of it.
Right, that's crazy. It only process. It's like a big filter.
Yeah, but it's crazier if it's just water in, water out. Okay.
But fish probably would think that about us.
True.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
True.
What?
Do
But
fish think? I don't think fish are big on thinking.
All right, a dolphin then. Although they breathe the
not a
same as
fish.
us. Yeah,
They pop up and
they pop up.
Yeah.
I don't
but they
know.
can stay underwater longer. Why is that?
Evolution.
Imagine
Because
trying
they're a
to-
fish.
But they're not a fish. They're a mammal.
Yeah, no,
A
good
fish.
pick.
As far as you're
Ed,
concerned,
good
it's a
pick.
fish.
don't understand how.
I'm not
fish
going to argue
breathe.
with that reasoning.
Feidelberg, you're up.
I'm gonna go with satire.
Satire.
I don't understand what it is. I don't think anyone understands what it is. I think most people, and this could be a bit of a skewed opinion because I think Barstool has poisoned the well on this. So I think a lot of people think Barstool is satire, and I don't think it is. I remember back in the day when this website would get questioned and Dave would be like, it's satire. I don't think so. I think PFT is satire.
Yeah.
I think Dan dabbles in satire. I think no one, I can speak for myself. I make jokes sometimes. I wouldn't say I'm satirical. I don't know of anyone else here who's like, I would say is satire. I know it's a form of making jokes. I don't know.
A very difficult form to be good at, too, I might add. But I want to say one thing. When you said that, when I first started, I was on with Dan a lot in the beginning, especially, and they used to say to me, "We're going to do some parody," and I didn't know that I know what parody means. That's akin to satire. I thought they were talking about parity, meaning something that's equal. I went 100 shows before I knew what the hell it was talking about. I was
You
dealing
getting
with the word
satire to the
parity. What?
So
I was dealing- What'd you say?
Nothing. That's my fault.
I was dealing with the parody, thinking they were talking about something that's equal to something else, and they're talking about comedy. And of course, again, I sounded like a total idiot for about a year and a half because I didn't know what they were talking about.
Throw homonyms on the list.
Homonyms.
What?
It's two words that sound alike that mean different things.
Yeah. But like I think you're right. Now that I think about it, I feel like PFT is probably the only like real satire guy.
Yeah, I knew like back in the day, like the Colbert Report was satire. I don't think there's nearly as much satire as people think there is in the world. I think people like to make jokes and go, "I'm being satirical." No,
Well,
it's just a joke.
You just outed us. That's our Trump card.
Yeah,
that's our get out of
What
jail
was
free
the,
card. Oh, it's satire.
You guys use it?
It's our
Fuck yeah.
Well, like I think
Incorrectly.
all the Barstool uses it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's just satire. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you can't
Yeah,
question
I
it 'cause
don't
no
think
one
we're
knows what it
satire
is.
like at all.
Yeah, like we use that a lot for like, oh, well, we don't really know about this sport or that sport, whatever. But it might just be we just don't know shit. Chief, you're up.
I wrote this down the other day. I had a toothache. I had like a problem. I have to go to a dentist, but I had a toothache, and I took an Excedrin, and it made it go away in like a half an hour. How the fuck does that work? How, like, I feel like if you're taking a painkiller and you told me like you're gonna take this and your whole body's gonna go numb, then I'd be like, all right, that makes sense to me.
It knows how to zero in.
How does it know how to zero in on the exact area that's giving you problems?
Strong pick.
Yeah,
That makes no sense.
it
at
makes like it's a pill. How is a pill smart enough to know where your
all.
tooth
And
hurts?
we're not.
So
Right.
just painkillers.
Pain, yeah,
No, it's a good pick.
yeah.
I think you got to be more specific. Well, I mean, it'd be long, but like, how do they zero in on? They know where your fucking pain is.
Yeah.
Painkillers knowing where the pain is.
Yeah. Like how does that work?
Is there something called a smart pill?
But I'm saying like even like an Advil. Like an Advil will like
It's times like these you wish you could call Dr. Zeitler for.
he didn't know shit.
You're
Yeah,
right.
he went downhill.
You're absolutely right. But we won't be calling him today or tomorrow. That line is disconnected permanently.
For how long is it disconnected?
Eternity, my friend. Eternity.
Very good pick.
Thank you.
I don't know how it.
How did it fix my tooth? I was better like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
White Sox, Dave.
Insurance. I don't understand insurance. Like, I get hurt and someone else pays all my shit for me. Sweet. Like, awesome. But how do you make money? Like, everyone's like, the insurance company's
this
worth
is the
billions of
easiest.
dollars.
Where's Feidelberg?
This is the
Feidelberg.
easiest one yet.
Yeah, this is an easy pick.
Feidelberg, wasn't your dad in that racket?
He still is in the racket.
Okay.
And I'm not for a reason. I don't really get it either. I think they make money hoping they're betting that you don't get hurt. Dave,
Right.
that you don't need money. So you're
Depends
paying
what
them
kind of
every month.
insurance.
So,
And they're going, I hope Dave stays okay.
say
You know
I
something?
come down with some, terminal illness or something, and it's going to cost millions and millions to keep me alive. We'll be on the record as saying you guys can just yank the plug and like chuck me in Lake Michigan or something. However, they're on the hook for like $1 gazillion. Like, I didn't give you guys that much money. Like,
Here's how it works.
but
okay?
but my question mostly in a serious note is, where does it end? Because like everybody's paying into it. Like, does it just cease to exist when the world ends?
Well, do we want
You
to
see what I'm saying?
Do you want me to actually answer this question?
Sure.
Okay. So young people, healthy people like me, I've been paying insurance as an adult for 15 years now. I've been to the doctor, and this is bad, but I've been to the doctor one time in the last, and it was recently for my shoulder, but I've been once in the last 15 years, once or twice, even though I'm paying. And there's like a ton of people like that who are paying into it. So when you get hurt, they draw from that pool of money from people who never get injured, and that's where the money.
But how
comes
do
in.
they make money?
The insurance companies?
On the people who don't.
Right.
I understand it's the people that don't get hurt, but where does it end? Like, where? So it's got to be like
All
a
right.
continually rolling ball.
Well,
like,
how about remember the 2008? You want to watch Big Short again? You remember?
No,
You
I
remember?
mean, yeah, I
remember-
love that movie, but I could watch that 1,000 times over and I wouldn't
All
understand.
right, but AIG, right? They were insuring all of. So here's like the question where it ends. They were insuring all these banks their big bets that they were going to lose on, to the point where nobody was insuring the insurer, and that's why the government had to come in and bail them out.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Because they just didn't have. They wrote. Yeah.
I think it's pretty. Yeah, I think it's
Well, you-
I think it's like a gym where you're kind of
Yes.
you know how much fitness equipment costs. You're losing money on the people who actually go to the gym. Where you're
Yes.
making all your money is the people who get a membership and go, I'm going to start going to the gym this year, and fucking never go and just let that roll over month every month.
Yes, it's a good way.
That's a
to put it.
good analogy.
So you folks, I'm at the age where I'm sucking off that
Yeah.
tip.
Yeah.
And, but the fact of the matter is, I paid a lot of money to pay into that system, and that's why you hear all these politicians talk about they're going to Medicare, which is what I have, government-sponsored insurance, and they're saying for you poor suckers, they're going to run out of money. I have it,
But
and I'm
money's
going to
fake.
have it until I die and I join Dr. Zeitler, wherever he is. And but you folks are at an age that they're talking about they're going to run out of money.
Yeah.
But how
they're
can they
paying
run out of
a lot
money if
more
money?
than they're taking in?
Which makes sense if money was a real thing tied to something, but it's not. We'll just print more money to pay for it. Duh.
Yeah, but at some point, right now
Yeah.
you're coming back to that.
Yeah.
But at some point, that's going to catch up to us.
See, that's what I'm asking. Where does it end? That's my point. Where does it end?
You know,
It's caught
something?
up to us, so it's like, oh,
I don't covet. I don't give a shit. I'm going to make it. I'll be dead before this is a problem.
Sucking off the tip.
Yeah, you're welcome, Mr. Portnoy.
Dave, you're up again.
Why chopsticks are still a thing? I mean, how long's a fucking fork been around for? I order Chinese food, I'm getting Chinese or chopsticks, and it's like, no, those are going straight to the garbage. I'm gonna get a fucking fork like a normal human who's been around for thousands of years. Why are chopsticks a fucking thing? I don't understand it.
I'm with you largely. I do enjoy eating sushi with a chopstick as part of the experience, but when we're getting rice in the mix, that's crazy.
But like, okay, it's part of the experience now. Not, I doubt, at the advent of the fork as a tool. It
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh, I got to use this tradition, man. Like, I can't go to that thing that makes life exponentially easier. I'm gonna keep using these fucking things I gotta fuck around.
It's like,
with
why
my
travel
hand.
by horse when there's a plane?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Why don't we use stone tablets once in
Right.
a while? You
Yeah.
know, just for old time's sake.
Why are chopsticks a thing? Like,
Any of you kids actually, when you get Chinese food, use chopsticks? Does anybody do that?
I do
Just-
with
just
sushi
the
because
sushi.
yeah, it's because
What?
it's fun. It's a little fun, but like
the sushi,
It's fun.
it's just so easy. Like sushi, you can do
Yeah.
just one big clamp. Once you're getting like a rice bowl or something like that in the mix, that's,
Right.
that's crazy.
You can do
Or like
ramen with
ra-
it, I feel like, too.
it's not.
I have a hard time with ramen with it.
Yeah. Although if you're good at it, like it is good for those people that could show off.
Yeah.
Like
It's
I would-
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would do that if I was good at it. You know,
I think when I go to pick it up, they see I'm Jewish and they don't bother with it.
They're the cooks and anti-Semite.
Do you
What?
just are they anti-Semitic, Mr. Portnoy?
Just because they don't give me chopsticks,
Yeah.
I don't take that as an
No.
insult.
pretty good pick. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't argue with that one.
But they actually use them regularly, like not unironically in China still, and other Asian countries and cultures. I asked
It's
Donnie about this,
culture. I don't know.
but you know of fork's existence, so it's like we should shift up that thing that makes things way easier.
I feel like they're thinner than us, and maybe they just get bored and like annoyed with eating. So maybe if we all ate chopsticks, we'd be all be able
What
to
about Kobayashi? Boom.
He's not.
He's thin.
He's thin.
That's what I'm saying. You
He's
said,
ripped.
That's
I
what.
know. But you
that's-
said they get tired of eating. He doesn't get tired of eating.
Oh, it's his job.
Well, you don't. Yeah, he does that like 1 or 2 times a year. I feel
I
like.
think he does.
No,
it like
more than
weekly.
that.
Does he?
but
Yeah, it's a whole blown circuit career thing for him.
Chief, you're up.
Where do thoughts come from?
That was going to be my next pick.
Like, how do you think of something that doesn't exist? And like where you're like something popped in my head. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
How do things just pop in your head?
Like I'm thinking right now, kinda. Like I'm always kinda thinking. I can't fully think because I'm incapable of it, like most people are. But it's like, what part of my brain is thinking right now? Is it like over here? It doesn't make sense.
But even like think of like a brilliant person too, like an Isaac Newton, and he just like thinks of or like everybody saw the movie Oppenheimer. How do you think and like theorize that like, oh, there's like quarks and atoms and like what would happen if we split? Like, how do you think of something that doesn't exist? Where do they come
Beats
from?
me.
Where do thoughts come from?
Ask Mr. Portnoy.
What's the question?
Basically like where do thoughts come from?
I got a better question. How did I remember that Feidelberg's father was in the insurance business?
That's
How did you think of that? Yeah.
You know something? You're not going to believe this, but I don't wonder about Feidelberg's father that much. But I remember things, and this is a real topic. I can't remember what I did yesterday. I'm not trying to be funny. I really cannot. But if you ask me about something that happened 10 years ago, that was such a small issue in my life, I remember. And I know that there's been medical studies about this, that it's not nothing. It's a real phenomenon, that you remember things that are so incidental in your life, but yet the things that just happened, you don't remember. Well, it's a real thing. I got to tell you, John, I wasn't thinking about your father when the show started today, but how did I come up with that immediately?
Yeah,
I don't know. I find that fascinating.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. And I've said this like many times. Like I wish I could choose to just like, if I have limited space for memory in my brain, like I don't need to remember all these like stupid sports facts from like when in the 90s. Like just erase that shit and let me fill it with new stuff that I could actually use besides like the fucking Daily Dozen trivia game. Like that's all it's good for. And it's so annoying that I can't remember or learn like new things because it's filled with junk. My brain is filled with junk.
No, it's a good.
Well, aren't you? What I'm saying is, aren't you stunned sometimes that you remember things and you don't even know how you remember it?
Totally.
Yeah.
The brain in general is just
brain's wild.
The brain's wild.
Feits, you're up.
How Tommy Smokes gets laid.
I actually get that.
Do you?
I think so. I think he's so fucking funny and like
she's like, no way, dude. Tommy's hot.
I get it.
I would say Tommy's not ugly, which helps. Like
He's
I'm
not
ugly,
ugly.
and that
Hey,
hurts me when I try to get laid.
When he gets like a nice little tan at the shore for the summer, he looks good.
No, I'm one of Tommy Smokes' biggest fans. That's why I said it. But Tommy, I tell the story all the time with Tommy. This is years ago. I was living in Murray Hill, and I was going to the movies by myself. This is back when Movie Card. What was that movie card that went out of business in like a week?
Movie Pass.
I remember that.
Pass was existing. I was going to movies every night, and I'm walking from my apartment to the movie theater. And as I'm walking, Tommy is walking with just a rocket launcher. This incredibly gorgeous woman. And Tommy doesn't break stride, doesn't even acknowledge my existence. Just walks right up by. I was like, what's up, Tommy? Just fucking boom, right by me. Didn't slow down. He says he didn't see me. I think it's impossible that he didn't see me.
Well, would you have acknowledged
I think
you?
about that all the time, and I'm like, how the fuck did Tommy? I guess now we've learned that he's a hero and he's a protector of women. That maybe that helps. But
he's a real.
Would you have acknowledged you?
I think I would have said hi. I say hi to people I know.
Boy, that's nice.
I'm excited.
Right?
I'm excited for this on the graphic.
What a guy you are.
Mr. Portnoy, are you surprised that Tommy Smokes gets it in a little bit?
I got to be honest with you, Eddie. I hadn't given it much thought.
Well, now that it's on the forefront of your brain, weird.
Yeah, well, it already left my brain. I think.
Oh man,
I think Tommy is the biggest fucking twerp on earth. he is such a twerp, but he makes me laugh more than anybody at this company. Maybe
He's funny.
He's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
I think that's all it takes. You just have to.
That's that. Yeah, I guess that's when we got to. He's funny.
I remember years ago, I gave him a kiss on the cheek. I think he was going to faint.
All right, back to me. Chief, I need your help describing this one because we've talked about this before.
Okay.
Like, how
Uh-oh.
do people, like, how do all these buildings have, like, people living in them?
They don't.
You know what I mean? Like, you ever walk around, like, Manhattan or downtown Chicago, and you're like, I know there's a lot of people, but there seems like an absurd amount of living spaces. You know?
How are there any homeless people?
Yeah.
There's got to be just, and like we're like all like the numbers are like, oh, Chicago's population is in decline, like people are fleeing Illinois, whatever, and then it's like, well, they're building a new record skyscraper,
38 stories
yeah,
in
with
the West.
apartment buildings.
Yeah.
It's like, well, who's gonna live there?
How is this happen? How do people live in all these places? I don't know.
I don't think that they do.
You think they're just vacant?
I think they're no, but I think like companies buy them as like an investment, and nobody really lives in them, and then they just write.
You know, that's
then
happened.
it's
What
like
you
a
just
tax write-off.
described, what you just described happens in China, has happened in China.
Mm-hmm.
They built a lot of residence type places, and they just misjudged what the demand was going to be to live in those places, and they've gone empty for years.
They built whole in China. They built whole. They call them ghost cities now, but they built like a fake Paris,
Yeah.
a fake London, and they're like, if you build it, they will come. And then nobody fucking came, so they just have all these like cities that are like
with the Eiffel Tower.
yeah, and the nobody.
I want to
lives in
say
it.
like remote
also, if
parts of
you've
the
spent
country.
any time in southern Florida, it's amazing. I mean, all these buildings, and they're all for sale all the time, and you wonder who lives in these places because they're all for sale. There's tons and tons of these places. There's always vacancies, and it's really is the same issue.
So
Who lives there?
I don't know. Like,
I think the answer is people don't. Like I saw something about this where like you'll have these foreign investments and then or just like hedge fund investments, and then they get to count that unit or that building as an asset, and then they can take out another loan in cash against it. And even though nobody lives there, so then they can use that real money on like other investments and then grow it and then hope to flip the place or not. And they can just, it's like a
More money shit.
Yeah.
it's
I
money
just-
shit. Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I had a buddy who was a real estate guy in Boston, and he would say that like, I don't know, oil guys and shit like that would like in like these not that Boston has these high skyscrapers, but like they'd come in and they'd be like, I'll take this whole floor, I'll put cars here.
Oh Jesus.
Like it was, or they'd get him and it'd be like, oh, for my son who's like same like what you're saying, like it wasn't actually lived in, it was just like
Yeah.
Yeah, for that.
garage.
But
Well, the people get in a situation where they're in a tax bracket that it's to their advantage
Right.
to buy these type of properties.
it's true.
Yeah.
Do you
doesn't
agree,
matter.
Fights? Do you ever walk around and look like? Have you ever done this?
What's that?
Have you ever done this? Like walk around and seen like just holy shit. There's so much residential property. How do people live here? Like there's just so much.
Absolutely. And then also, I think it's the cover in the New Yorker this month, or maybe New York Magazine, is all the exact same thing, but with business space. Where they're like,
Yeah.
all the high rises in New York just don't have people there.
Yeah.
So I think that's like a real economic bubble that people are worried about, that all these companies that own those businesses, it's going to be like a real estate crash again, like 08, but for
Because
commercial.
people are not going to their offices anymore.
Yeah.
They're working from at home and whatnot online, and there's no need to be in an office.
Yeah.
You know whose fault that
Barstool.
is, right, Mr. Portnoy?
What's that?
You know whose fault that is, right?
It's not mine.
Someone want to take this away?
Nope. I don't like to gaslight my friend Mr. Portnoy, so I'm not going to do it.
I know what Dave's saying. He's saying it's
It's the libs. It's the libs.
It's the what?
The libs. We can move on though. It's the libs' fault.
I thought so.
How
No
I'm
idea
gonna
what
write
that
this.
means, but
Why are there so many buildings?
So many residential buildings.
Yeah.
Mr. Portnoy, you're up again.
okay. Oh, I know what I'm going to talk about here. You know, I've experienced this because I have a well-known son, kind of a semi well-known person, I guess. And I never realized till I started to walk around with him, people do things. And of course, I don't know if you guys can sense it. I'm not the type of person. If I saw somebody well-known walking by, I wouldn't go over and scream. I might, if I was right near them, somebody like Eddie, I would say, I like what you do on the show. I wouldn't, that's how I would say it. When I go with my son, we've gone through some places where he's well known. The people, they don't give a shit. They'll scream at him from so far away. They don't care what, and he doesn't complain. I'm the one that's looking at this. I'm saying to myself, I wouldn't do this in a million years. If he's, way out of this scream, they'll stop him. They'll want to take his picture. And I'm not talking about my sons at all. I'm talking about if that was me, I wouldn't. That's just not my personality. I wouldn't care who walked by. I wouldn't yell across at them or run over to them and get them to, take my picture. I don't understand that. That's what were we calling this? What I don't understand.
Yes.
I don't understand those people.
So people
Why?
who
What do you
scream
do
at
that?
famous
What do you-
people.
Kind of,
What's
Mr. Portnoy, you're describing passion a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those people have passion.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think they're idiots.
I agree. I completely agree.
Feidelberg, you wouldn't do that.
I would never in a million years do that. There was one time, fairly.
You wouldn't even do it with my son.
I was at Kid Rock's bar in Nashville, and Kid Rock came in, and he was standing in the back, and not a single person had their eyes facing the band on stage. Everyone was just turned around, staring at Kid Rock. Not everyone was yelling. Everyone was just turning around, staring at him. I was like, just look at the fucking band on stage. He's just a guy standing in the back drinking a Bud Light.
I said before, Letterman is my favorite entertainer. Honest to God, if he walked by me and we were as close as you could be, I might just say it in a regular voice. I admire your work, etc. But to run across a room and say, let me take your picture. Come on. I don't get it.
But you would like a photo with him.
No, you know something? I don't care. Honest to God.
Okay.
I don't. What does it do to have a picture with somebody like that? What does it do for me?
You put on a frame right next to your fridge where the fish smell is, and you could look at that. And
Maybe I
happy.
do that.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a picture of you, Eddie.
Okay. We could.
Seriously, I don't. That's one thing, and I only put it in the context of it's not something I would do. I can't picture myself doing it, so I don't understand these people that do it. And there's tons of people that do it.
Yeah.
But it's not me.
All right.
That's all I can tell you.
I've done it twice off the top of my head.
What? I don't think it's bad to ask for a photo at all.
No, I don't care.
But
You can't be obnoxious about it. Once was recently Barry Butler. First time in a long time I've done it. I sprinted. I'm like, hey,
at him?
I didn't scream at him. I'm like, hey, Miss Butler, can I get a picture? Big fan, which I am. And then,
But what do you do with
James
you ever
Mattis,
look
General
at that picture
Mattis.
again? I was wondering about that.
No, you got to
If
get your
somebody
social
has
media likes.
You post it for clout, Mr.
Yeah.
Portnoy.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, obviously, I'm in a little different situation.
Last round, Mr. Portnoy, your last pick here for the draft.
All right, this is my last pick. How am I doing? I made it to the last round. I know that.
Can I be honest? I looked at your board earlier. I can't wait to read it out loud later. It's very funny.
What's that?
You're doing great. You're doing great.
I thought so. Another thing, again, because this is not me, I don't understand these people that get in fights on an airplane. I don't get it. I wouldn't say anything to anybody about anything unless somebody did something to me that I felt was heinous. And even then, I think I call the steward or the steward. It's just not my nature. I keep my mouth shut, and I don't interfere. If I saw something where I thought, say, somebody was being abused or something like that, but it seems to me that these people that get in fights on the airlines and whatnot, they probably had a couple, two drinks to start with. I think that's a lot of it. But even aside from that, I mean, it sounds like if you say excuse me and they don't like the way you said excuse me, the next thing you know, you got a brawl going on. I mean, that's not me. And I can only judge and say to myself, I'm a pretty good person. I don't do these things.
I think everyone could agree with this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People who start fights anywhere.
Yeah, for real.
Not even just an airplane. Like it's kind of like John's pick, the passion. Like what? Like I'm trying.
I will say though, on airplanes, that's the one place I would have no problem throwing the first punch. If I'm talking more if like I thought there was danger.
Like what? Like it's a terrorist?
No, not
Well,
even
that's a
like
different thing.
Like if
I'm
some dude's
about,
going fucking
No,
Like I would have no
that's
problem
obviously.
fucking restraining.
If you're talking about a terrorist, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
I'm talking about if someone was being, I can't say the right thing. I mean, just somebody said, "Could you move your seat a little?" That's a common thing when people put the seat back and they say, "Got the seat too far back," or this sort of thing. You're going to get in a fight over that?
No, never. Because I'm anti-recline of the seat, especially like in coach. But if someone reclined in my face, and even if they like spilled my drink as they were reclining, let's say, I still wouldn't say anything. That's me. Yeah, but I don't like
And
what they do.
What I'm saying is that I think in this world we live in, that's prefatory to a brawl breaking out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, that's good.
Good pick.
Back to me. Pretty basic, but something I've always never really understood is just I'll leave it under the umbrella of artificial flavoring, but more so like Larry the Cable Guy. I see it at a gas station once. He has a cheeseburger flavored chip. Who's sitting there with that beaker testing out cheeseburger flavored chips?
That's a good one.
You know?
That's a good one. And you're like, oh, yeah, this needs a little bit more cheddar flavor to it.
Exactly.
To balance. I don't know.
And like Lay's does those tests. They made like a deep dish flavored Lay and whatever, Cuban sandwich flavored Lay. It's like, who is sitting there with those beakers and those test tubes?
Like, how do you get the spice right?
How are they doing this?
I don't know. So artificial flavoring?
Yeah.
I have been in a room where they were like, we did taste tests of like a new product.
Yeah.
And they would have them all out. And like there was this one guy who was like the expert. And he's like, that's too much berry. And they'd be like, all right, go change it. And it was just one guy's opinion. That's too much berry.
All right. That's all it was?
Yeah.
John, are you with me here?
I'm 100% with you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. And also, it's like when this guy waved them off, it's like, where do they go? Do they have a lab, like a science lab in here where they're like doing concoctions and stuff? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
And like the fake sugar that like could taste like strawberry banana, but it's not. It
has nothing to do with the actual fruits.
There's no strawberries or bananas.
Yes, it's crazy.
Make it make sense, Ed.
I don't get it. Don't
Make it
understand
make sense, Ed.
The more you talk, the better this pick is getting.
Yeah.
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 You know?
Yeah.
At first I was like, what? But
How are you doing that?
it's magic. It's sorcery.
I don't know.
Mr. Portnoy, any answers on this?
No.
No. Okay. I appreciate it. Yeah, so artificial flavor.
like-
Specifically cheeseburger chips.
Yeah. How do we get the cheeseburgerness?
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't get
know.
it.
I just did this the other day, and I got a lot of flack from it from my son. I don't know if you saw this.
What'd you do?
He did a whole poll. He did a whole poll on this, and of course, I got murdered because I was with him. We were going to have a nice dinner. I never did this in my life. This is maybe a month ago. I never did this before. I ordered a steak, and when the waiter served it, I thought it was too well done. Similar to the type of person I am, I keep my mouth shut. Normally, I don't say anything. But in this particular time, I don't know what came over me. When it was served, I could see it was too well done for me. I wanted it medium. And that led to a big discussion about whether that had been served was medium or medium rare. And of course, my son jumped all over me. He had a poll out, which I was voted against 1,000 to 1. I lost 10,000 to 1. But I never did this before. And what went through my mind was that rather than eat it and then say to the waiter when he asked how was it, and I said I really didn't, it wasn't cooked the way I want, and then of course it's gone from the plate. I never did this before. Before I even touched it, I looked at it and I said, this isn't what I wanted. It wasn't cooked the way I wanted. And what crossed my mind was, you know, how you eat something, it's not the way you wanted it, and then it's gone from, you ate it. So if you ate it, you know,
How bad could it be? Yeah.
Yeah, how bad. But I don't know why I did this, other than I regretted it the minute I realized who I was with. Because then he took that and he ran with it. And of course, I looked like a total idiot. I never did it before, and I'll never do it again.
So this is,
but what?
This is why, like, I love you, because you're a guy who doesn't. You just said, like, hey, like, I never complain, but you're so good at it. You're so good at complaining. It comes so natural to you.
Thank you.
How do you sort that out?
No, you know something? I famous story. I don't want to take any more time here, but I don't know if you folks are probably all too young to remember the rice pilaf story. Does anybody know what that is?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yes.
I don't think I do, so please tell.
That was, you talk about not complaining. This is the opposite. I was, the waiter gave me rice. I like rice pilaf. And I saw that it was, this is 100 years ago, and I saw that it wasn't rice pilaf. But based on what you said about complaining, I didn't say anything. I took it. It was just regular rice. I didn't say a word. Went home and I said to my wife for a week, you know, why didn't I say anything about the fact that that was just regular rice and it wasn't rice pilaf? And I kept saying it to her. Finally, she called. It was Legal Seafoods. She called there and explained it to him. That my husband didn't say anything. He was there like a week ago. It was the moment you explained it sounds so ridiculous. And don't you think I got a free meal out of that? This was like 10 days after the event. And to this day, I can't tell you why I didn't say anything or why it all happened. But that was a famous story about the rice pilaf, which, of course, David Portnoy always brings that up at some point, that the famous rice pilaf story.
10 days later.
I don't know. You know, sometimes, don't you folks ever wonder why you do some of the things you do?
All the time.
Yep.
Every single day.
Do.
Yeah.
Yep.
I did look up the picture of the steak in question, Mr. Portnoy, and I got to say that looks like a pretty perfectly cooked medium, maybe medium, like in between medium and medium rare to me.
The steak?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking it up too.
See, I thought it was well done. Sorry. I mean, that's what.
That the other story about you not complaining that I think is just so funny is that didn't you have like the same type of cookie for 30 years for breakfast, and then you were finally like, I don't like this cookie.
Yeah.
Milanos. He never,
never liked them.
he never liked Milanos.
But I'm sorry. That brought up the one last thing. I'm going to sneak one in here. I know it's not my turn anymore. The thing I meant to, I don't have an answer to this, and thank God I wouldn't do it if my wife was not hand out. But Eddie knows we went looking for chocolate chip cookies in Boston. My wife has gone, and I'm looking around to make sure she's not here. She went to a stage. She was making these great chocolate chip cookies. I like them when they're a little bit thick, right? They got a little body to them. She's gone through stages which she can't even explain it. Sometimes she makes them for a month or two, and they're great. And then they're terrible. Then she'll go back to making them terrible again, and you never know what to expect. And she has no explanation for it other than stop bothering me with this. But they come out, it's like always a surprise what it's going to be. They're either great or awful.
Yeah, no one understands. No one understands why there's.
I don't understand.
Yeah, no, we've talked about this a lot over the phone.
Yeah, I got Eddie lost in Boston when we did that.
Yeah, that happened.
Wait, you guys have phone calls?
Me and him?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk on the phone, right, Mr. Portnoy?
Who does?
Me
you
and
I?
you? Yeah.
Who are you? No, yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Eddie. Eddie's a buddy.
You're
We
right.
have something in common. We like chocolate chip cookies.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Feidelberg, you're up.
Okay. Are we doing? We go back for honorable mentions, or honorable mentions come now?
We'll go back for honorable mentions. So you'll make your
Okay.
last pick, yeah.
All right. This is one I have written down, and I brought it up recently on an episode of KFC Radio. And I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna do it now because I feel like Chief knows about this kind of stuff. Mr. Portnoy might have opinions. At its base level, why is communism so evil? Now, I'm not a communist.
saw this
Ed, you
clip.
can have an opinion on this as well.
Thank you.
I understand that when it was Stalin and in Cuba, it's not going. If you were just like, I think everyone should have things equally, I would disagree with you. But communism is said like you're a murderer, like he's a communist. Why is that so bad? If you're just like, I think everyone should have things equally. Again, I disagree, but I disagree with a lot of political ideas.
This
I
is
just go,
this is a good point.
I disagree.
It's a good point.
It's turned into a sort of slur because of the 60 or 70 years or so of us being not technically at war, but kind of at war with communists, and they were trying to expand their empire and turn us into them, and maybe hypothetically they were taking over other territory. They're kind of doing it now a little bit.
But if you were just like, I think America should be communist, and you were like, I think it should have everything equally, that's not that evil, right? It's like, I disagree. I don't think it's right. But it's like, you're not a murderer for thinking it. By the way, I like that. I strongly disagree.
Okay.
Very strongly disagree.
You're
Edit
worried
that out.
about what's going to happen to you.
It's a good point.
Can I take a stab at it?
Yeah, I mean, sure. Why? But answer what he's saying.
That's what I'm going to try to do.
Okay. Why is it like you're a murderer?
I think that there is a difference between Marxism, which might be what you're talking about, where like the idea that everybody should have equal, we'll all work on things together, and we'll all have a happy equal life doing different things that we're good at. It's like the to each whatever that expression is, like according to their need or what. I'm going to get that wrong, but it's like that's like the idea. That's like Marxism, and that sounds in a way kind of nice and not evil. Communism is every single time somebody has tried to put Marxism into practice, everyone winds up murdered. So because you have to steal a bunch of shit from people, and then it's like we're going to determine what actually equal actually is, and then the people at the top still get all the most stuff, and then everyone else is a peasant, and then they end up murdered. That's why Stalin. There's that story where Stalin had like census takers, and they come back from being like, hey, actually, since you took power, 30 million people died. And then he was like, oh, wow. And then he just killed the census takers too. So like Pol Pot murdered everybody. Mao murdered maybe 60 million people, they think. So yeah, it just in practice, it just never works out because you have to steal and murder to try to like level the playing field.
Okay. You just made me think of something. Any of you folks ever see a movie called The Death of Stalin?
It's satire, is it not? It's supposed to be satire.
That is a satire. That's why I'm bringing it up. We were talking about a satire a little while ago.
Yeah.
There is a satire.
Yeah.
The Death of Stalin, dealing with communism and whatnot, and that's tremendous satire.
What? It's good. I haven't seen it.
Oh,
I
excellent!
Told I would like that specifically. I think Jeff
excellent.
Would like that.
I just watched another thing that surprised me. Had a lot of satire in it. Was White House Plumbers. Did you ever hear of that?
I did the first 2 episodes of that. I didn't love it. Is it worth sticking around for?
Because there's a lot of satire in it, showing how stupid those guys were. And it's done by the same people that made Veep, which is one of my favorite shows of all time.
Veep. Yeah.
Yeah. If you like that, you'll like White House Plumbers.
So I watched the first half of an episode of that, and I turned it off.
Of White House Plumbers?
Yeah. And I like.
There's a lot of satire in it. especially the guy that would light his hand on fire and everything. He was a total whack job. And they kept screwing everything up they were trying to do. And it was, I found it amusing.
John, I think this was a good pick.
That was
Thanks.
good
And
pick.
even with Chief's response, which I understand is fair, that's not the communism in and of itself that's evil. That's the people doing it.
Yeah. So,
The people that are enacting the system.
It's because
so if the right guy ran with the
If
ball,
you get the right guy, maybe Ed's the
but
guy.
at that point,
Isn't
yeah,
that what about Animal Farm? You
Great
guys,
book.
I assume you all read Animal
Yep.
Farm when you were in high school.
Mm-hmm.
That's a brilliant satire about communism and socialism. If you haven't read that is like the Bible of satire, political satire.
Yeah, and
Animal
Propaganda
Farm.
they forced on us.
they're what?
those are some of the only books I enjoyed reading growing up. 1984 and Animal House, yeah.
all right, Chief, you are up.
All right, this is one that I don't know if this is still an issue, but this is one that every time I think about it, it just never makes any sense. When they would be like, remember they used to have like hairspray or spray paint cans or aerosol cans, and they were like, this can, if you use this can, it's going to destroy the ozone layer. Like, how the fuck can me going like that poke a hole in the outer
world.
space?
Yep.
And I will never. And
Bro, you never saw this? You never had this diagram drawn for you? And you're not going to be able to see it because I just ripped off a small piece of paper. In school?
I don't know, but it seems silly to me that a can in my hand could impact something. That's a sun, right?
That it looks like a sun. That's what what's the things that come out of air conditioners? Coolants?
Freon?
Freon. Yeah. Freon.
Okay.
That's what it looks like. And these float up in the air, and because they're so spiky, they just poke holes in it.
Oh, for
That's what
real?
someone told me about third grade.
Wow.
No one ever explained that to
That
me.
makes sense to me.
I don't
But
know
it's
if
gonna
it's
float
true.
all the
Someone
way-
told
and
me
no,
one
It's
time,
true.
I took it as fact.
That's true.
And it's just, I don't know, space and the ozone layer in my head is so big that is like, are we all just like, how much hairspray is really being used that we're gonna poke a giant hole? Like, it feels like you'd need to be doing a lot of aerosols or freons or whatever that is to
I
have
think
it.
in the 80s it was an issue.
It was a big hair era.
We've walked into the pomade mousse era, and things are getting a lot better. But
I'm not guilty of that. Don't accuse me of that. Don't accuse me of that.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
White Sox Day, Mr. Irrelevant.
If I will take that to the grave, I don't want to know the real reason behind those, but that made perfect sense, so I'll never believe anything else, John. I hate how boring all my fucking picks were, especially, but I try to think outside the box, but microwaves, on the note of waves, you put it in for 30 seconds, all of a sudden it's fucking hot because a bunch of invisible shit went through it.
Great pick.
How does it make sense?
I
How does it make sense?
don't know.
Dave's definitely gonna win this draft.
I don't think so because they're all boring. But this is like, I was thinking like everyday shit you do and use and experience, instead of like the crazy stuff that you guys are. I wish I would have gone your guys' route, but like this, it will never. How does even someone think to like come up with it?
Where do thoughts come from?
It's all chicken and egg shit. This entire draft.
But like that, Dave, like I'm with you on that. Like you just press them. I don't know what's going on in that box.
How did they make that LED light work on the
Let's
microwave to push 3 and then that number automatically makes it the perfect temperature that your food wants?
It's like heat. I think it's like
The
heating
electric.
up the molecules. Like I think that's what's happening. I think it's heating up. It's like accelerating
But
molecules.
you can't see it, so how did you think to do it?
I don't know. That's science shit.
Don't you folks, it just crosses my mind that all the things you're talking about, people years ago didn't talk about asbestos. But there are people working in sites that breathing it in. And now, they talk about it's a killer.
Yeah.
But back when people were in their jobs doing things like, nobody discussed that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's after the fact. It's come out. And who knows what's going on right now with some of the things you're talking about. They may, in fact, be very bad for you.
Yeah.
But you don't find out now. You find out later.
Yep.
Tomorrow we have a show coming out tomorrow where it was 3M and DuPont, they just did a $10 billion settlement because
Bro,
they just.
If you haven't seen the movie Dark Water,
We talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit.
I gotta go see
Yeah,
it.
it's a great movie.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of it's kind of like that Spotlight-esque investigative.
Yeah, it's it's Aaron Brockovich a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's a great.
very good movie.
But of course, the other side of this, if you hear enough and read enough of this stuff, you won't even go outside because it scares the shit out of you.
Yeah.
I feel like
right.
there's like nowhere to go where you're not going to catch something and die.
Yep.
Like
Exactly.
Dr. Zeitler.
Yeah.
It's a crazy show tomorrow. All right. We could do some honorable mentions, then we'll read them through, and then we'll get out of here. John, you had some, you said?
I got two. I got one, and this one kind of applied to a couple of the things we said, but I'd go with mental illness for a number of reasons, but just one being like you wake up and it's like, I'm feeling good today. And then your brain's just like, no, not
Wrong.
Not today.
Wrong.
It's like, have you thought about your life lately?
Fucked up. Yeah.
That one when you're like, I have no reason to be in a bad mood, and it's just like, no, you are fucking down today, brother. That doesn't make any sense to me. And then the other one would be the game of cricket.
I had
which
that
I
on my
think
list, actually.
Did you really?
Yeah. It takes like fucking 3 weeks to finish a game.
When people are like, a game took weeks, I'm like, what are you talking about? And you could even, that actually kind of, you could use that to explain why sports are so silly as a whole. We're just like, that doesn't make, if you didn't learn it at a young age, sports are incredibly dumb.
You're out.
I don't get it at all.
Did anybody see when David Portnoy was on a thing with the guy from England?
Piers Morgan.
I just lost it. Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
And he was brought in to talk about cricket. And it was so funny because he had no idea why he was there, why they were talking about it. He knew nothing about it.
Yeah.
And they just refused to accept the fact that he didn't know anything about it. I found it hilarious.
That was a great
That
clip.
was funny. But
Yeah.
I agree. I don't know anything about it.
I know there's
Chief,
a
you got
bat and a
anything
ball.
more?
Yeah, this one, I feel like this one, maybe science guy John over there could explain this. I don't understand how condensation, like how does water on the inside of a glass get to the outside of the glass? That's another thing I've been
Pretty good.
No one will ever know the answer to that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's.
No, they'll tell you they know the answer. I don't.
But I
believe them.
don't understand that. I've never understood
Good.
that.
I like that.
I rewatched the movie Interstellar recently. The end of that movie where he was like in the books the whole time or something.
I haven't seen it, asshole.
It was 10 years old.
I saw Inception.
I recently watched that movie. I never seen it before. It's like Kevin's favorite movie. I recently
Interstellar
watched it. Yeah.
Okay.
And I recently watched it sitting next to him on a cross-country flight recently and fell asleep like the last 15 minutes. Like the meanest thing you can do to a person who's like, this is my favorite movie.
All right.
And I had to get off the flight and be like, how'd that end? And he's like, it's too confusing. So I would agree with you.
It was, I've seen it multiple times now. And I was like, maybe I was like high or something. I just didn't understand it the first time. And then I watched it again. I'm like, I understand it less. Like, and then he somehow like reunites with it. Whatever. It's like time travel. I didn't understand that at all. The pyramids, we've talked about those on this show 100 times, so I didn't want to bring them up again. But
yeah, you could throw flights and how cruise ships float in there. I'm sure those are
even like
people just tell you lift, they'll tell you water displacement or whatever you want to call it.
Like a cruise ship, like
how does that thing float? That thing weighs a gazillion pounds.
That'll never make sense. I had one
but
other
this
one.
penny will sink.
White Sox, Dave. You got any?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleep. Why do we sleep? I know what you guys are thinking, but that's not why. Why do we sleep, Ed?
Recharge the batteries.
You don't do that. You eat by. That's why you eat.
That's a good point.
I think you have to if you don't sleep, like you will go insane though. Like you, like if you're
hallucinating and shit.
Yeah, like some people like never recover.
I remember
we were interviewing Matt Barnes a while back, and I don't know if it'll be true, but I remember him like being very serious and telling us that like the next big thing in sports after CTE will be the sleep deprivation. and like what the athletes go through. Because he's explaining, he's like, I'll have the game end at midnight in Atlanta. I'll do post game, whatever, till 1. I'll eat, get on a plane. I get to my hotel in LA at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., whatever time. Then I have a quick nap and I have a shoot around. And he's like basically explaining how little sleep they get in season. And he was like, they'll see how this fucked us up. Like, this will be the next big one.
That's pretty interesting.
I was in a high school. This is like kind of serious, but we were in psychology, and our professor, I still stay in touch with the guy, or not professor, teacher, it was high school. He asked the class, why do we sleep? And everyone's like, to get more energy. And he's like, no, that's you get energy by consuming food and calories and all that shit. And he said that one theory is that, like, you know, hundreds of thousands of years ago when it was Neanderthals or whatever the fuck, we would lie down in like fetal positions in grass in a completely motionless subconscious state because we weren't at the top of the food chain. And then like it happened throughout all mammals or something like that.
Yeah, but like even sharks sleep. They've proven.
Dude, I was going to ask, do fish sleep?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Do they keep moving?
They have to move a little bit so they can breathe. Because you have to have water rushing over your gills, I'm pretty sure. But like, yeah, that was like a somewhat recent discovery that like sharks and fish will sleep.
Do fish drink?
Brother, I don't know that one. I don't know that one.
That's a little too far.
Yeah. You got any more, Dave?
Deja vu.
Yeah.
That's weird.
We already talked about that.
I just have 2 people who root for politics. We talked about it already. And just
as sport teams.
Yeah, like a sports team. Yeah. Another one, like blasting your whole life on social media when you don't need to. But those are 2 boring ones, so I didn't take them.
Oh, and I watched this documentary about this. It's not the Hubble telescope, the James Webb telescope.
I
it's
just
on
watched
Netflix.
it too. Yeah.
How do you take a picture of 13 billion years ago? And I know they're going to be like things that's like light or whatever, but I'm like,
dude,
no.
they're pooking in. Is it the past or future?
In the past.
Yeah, they're looking into the past because when you look up, I'm obviously not staring at the sun, but everybody's just taking a glance at the sun. That happened 7 minutes ago or something.
Because it takes that. Do you know who?
Ask me.
Let's get to it later.
There's this other thing where it's like a light particle from a star would not, and I can't explain this. It comes from a guy, his name's John Wheeler, but it would not have, that photon would not have left the star unless it had a place to go, which is your eye, but it left 70,000 years ago. But it's like, it's called like delayed choice destination.
So you're telling me these photons and quarks and
they were
neutrons,
like destined for your eye.
They
it's like they have
chose.
like the yes, it's like a delayed choice theory.
That's fucking crazy.
And it would I can't.
You need to send me this shit afterwards.
All right, I will.
Mr. Portnoy, do you have any more before we wrap up here?
No, the only thing I was thinking, I guess yes, I think that was it Steve Jobs or Musk? I don't remember which one of these guys, or maybe it was the guy from the Washington Post saying they don't, they sleep 2 hours a night or something crazy like that. I don't know if it was Steve Jobs or Musk or what's the name that
Bezos?
Amazon.
Bezos
talking about how little sleep they require. I might be wrong about that.
No, I think you're right about that. Wasn't it like Bill Gates used to be like, I only sleep.
Yeah,
like
maybe it was Gates. Could have been Gates.
They're all fucking liars. Everyone gets $1 billion and says they're a fucking superhero.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
They're just on that testosterone replacement. Bezos got.
Well, that takes care of that. They're all liars.
Yeah.
That's, you could say that would end the conversation about so many things.
Yeah.
Do you ever hear everyone who becomes a billionaire or crazy rich has this incredible origin story that they've had to overcome? The stupidest one is the Peloton guy. You ever hear his?
No.
His key to success is he has 40 handfuls of water every morning. That fucking idiot.
What?
He says he stands over the sink and shovels water into his mouth until he's nauseous. And that's how he kickstarts his day in his brain. Well, guess what? I drink from a water bottle. And I bet I get more water than you do in your 40 handfuls.
But you know something, John?
That's bizarre.
Based on Peloton, you're doing better than he is right now.
Oh, yeah.
They're in a dumper.
John, next time you see Dante, ask him about that. If you want to send him on a little tirade.
Peloton?
Oh, yeah.
I'm
He
gonna text
invested
him about
hard
it right
into it in 2020 when you should have, but he didn't get out in time.
That's a
I
shame.
love texting Dante every now and again. Just a little
Rile
fucking
him
grenade
up.
into the foxhole.
Yeah.
Let him go.
And then just scamper off.
That brain, that brain's.
And then
always
just
flying
wait an
around.
hour and reply, man, that's crazy.
That is one of my fun things.
That
I
is
do.
fun.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to read them off, and then we'll vote off who you think had the worst draft. So you got to say who you thought was the worst, Mr. Portnoy. First up, Mr. Portnoy, why his atomic clock doesn't work. Long beards, Detroit Lions wanting a live lion mascot, people who scream at famous people, people who fight on airplanes, Eddie, quantum anything, underground water road tunnels, how fish breathe, why are there so many residential buildings, artificial flavoring, specifically cheeseburger chips, fights, human body, passion, satire, how Tommy Smokes gets laid, why communism is so evil, Chief, vinyl records, radio waves, painkillers knowing where the pain is, where do thoughts come from, spray cans poking holes in the ozone layer, and White Sox Dave, women, money, insurance, why chopsticks are still a thing, and microwaves. Okay, now we must vote. All right, Mr. Portnoy, who do you think had the worst one? This is probably easiest to do this.
Who had the worst one?
Yeah, who had the worst board? Yeah.
I'm going to have to pass because I really hadn't given that any thought.
All right, we'll give it some thought. We'll come back to it.
All right, we'll come back to you, John. Or should we go?
I'll just vote for myself. I thought those
You
were
can
funny.
do that?
I thought yours were good. How
But I
does
thought
that
the other
fucking
ones-
little white pill
I
make
don't
your
know,
poo stop
but I
hurting?
thought the other ones
I
made
thought
me
you had
laugh.
a good one.
But they made me laugh.
Who'd you
more than
have,
the other
Dave?
ones.
I voted for you.
Me?
I thought Chiefs was awesome.
John, who'd you vote for?
I'm voting for myself.
Oh,
Me
man.
too. I'm voting for myself. That's easy.
You
All
gotta
right, so
do it.
now we have to vote for either Eddie or.
No, I have to vote
No.
for someone.
Oh, okay.
Do it,
Everybody,
Ed.
everybody, I have to vote. If I vote for White Sox Dave, then it's a five-way tie.
Yeah. We're
Did
too
you get
stupid.
anything for this? Or is this just this,
I don't know.
this
Fuck it, I'll vote for Dave.
And this is the first time.
First time
First
ever.
time. A first time. How are we going to do this? This is chaos.
I don't know.
All right.
I was between you two. You were on my list. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out on Twitter. So follow along on Twitter.
Okay.
And we'll figure out a way to do it. Dog Walk Barstool.
We'll have to start
eliminate
one of those, like,
but I'll say right now, Mr. Portnoy is not getting eliminated. I would
Yeah,
rather sacrifice
he
myself.
has to be on there.
Yes. I
Yeah.
would rather sacrifice myself. But all right, Mr. Portnoy, thank you as always. It was a pleasure.
Hey, I enjoyed this, Eddie. I enjoyed it with you guys.
I'll see you
We'll
next
do it
week,
again.
Mr. Portnoy.
Next summer.
Yeah, next summer.
Well,
Not this summer.
you're going to
next
let
summer.
that fish rot in your fridge for a whole year?
Yeah, you got to get
You
his
know
nose on
something?
the case.
You won't believe this. I got to tell you this. I starting to smell it now with the door shut. I'm not happy.
Maybe it's
With the
not
door
even in the
open.
fridge.
This
Huh?
this is something that's happened in my apartment a time or two, and I can't figure out what's in the fridge. It's the dishwasher. I haven't run the dishwasher in a little bit, so maybe
I'm gonna-
look into.
I'm going to look into it.
Here's something I don't understand: tandem washer and dryers, because you got to front load the washer, and water inevitably is going to stay in there, so it gets you get that moldy smell. Whoever invented those, like, I don't understand what your purpose in life was.
I'll tell you what
they're
it
probably
is.
like worth hundreds of
I'm going
millions
to
of
answer
dollars.
that question for you. If you only have a certain amount of space, this is a safe space. It saves space.
I understand, but you
As
can
oppo-
still have. There's the ones where you have there's like a gap between the two, then, and you can still lift it up underneath the dryer.
Those are stackable.
Yeah, they're stackable.
Stackable ones.
That's a
Front loading washing machines make zero sense.
If I cared about what you're saying, I take a picture and send it to you, but I don't care enough to take a picture.
John, thank you too. This was fun.
Thanks, Fights.
Thank you very much, boys. Mr. Portnoy, great to see you.
Nice to talk to you, John.
right.
Say hello to your dad for me. Tell him I was reminded.
Oh man! All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Follow along on Twitter
Thanks,
to see how we
Eddie.
break the tie. We'll see you all tomorrow for the crazy episode of Dark Waters story.
yeah.
See ya.